What's good, guys? This is Juice at THCLabs.net. Hope you guys are having a badass day. I want to talk to you about setting goals and a little bit about visualization. Now, I've gone into setting goals before in other previous videos, but I wanted to tie in visualization with this because yeah, they're real identical, in some ways. So, what I mean by visualization is you have to know where you're going with your business and with your life. Period. Uh, if you're the type of person that lives every day, just day by day and not really trying to better yourself, it, it's real hard to get anywhere, man. And you have to know and make a conscious decision that you want to improve yourself and you want to better yourself. So taking this into consideration, you want to acknowledge the fact that time becomes your most valuable asset, more than your all the money you get in the world, more than your businesses, more than your even your family, your friends, more than anything else in the world. Time is more important. And what's strange is somehow a lot of us get manipulated or conditioned into thinking that we're gonna get more time or we have all the time in the world or they somehow corrupt us into thinking that our time is invaluable. And when I say they, I mean I mean just basically the media, the radio, the newspaper, the news. They're really, I don't keep up with all that stuff, but the reason why is because they're really negative. They really focus on the bad things that humans do, on the bad news of the world, on the bad things that go on in your town. If you really look at it, last time I looked at the newspaper, it was mostly about the drug wars and the economic issues and businesses failing and stuff like that. And I was really looking out for something positive, but there's nowhere to be found. It's rare you see something in a newspaper that's gonna uplift someone or motivate them. So another big thing is for you to really start cutting away all that stuff you don't need. You really don't need to be sitting in front of a TV all day, or you don't need to be watching TV. The those what do they call the programmings and the shows and all that stuff. I mean, of course, we all have our favorite shows, and that's healthy, to once a week watch your favorite show, but just don't get into the routine of watching TV all day every day and just slide down on your couch and that's all you do all day, because that's honestly the almost one of the least productive things you can do is just sit on your butt all day and watch TV. So um, once we acknowledge that our time means a lot, we can move on to setting goals and visualizing. And what visualization does is it brings your mind and your consciousness to the level that you're trying to get at. You see, because this world we're living in right now, this room I'm in right now, it really existed in my mind first before it came out to be how it is right now. And how I did that was I literally, wherever I was at work, watching a movie, or anywhere I was at, I would picture my room just getting filled up with equipment, of gear, guitars and recording equipment and drum machines and all that stuff. And little did I know that's exactly what happened. And if you would have told me 7 months ago that I was gonna have a room full of guitars and equipment and drum machines and electric drum kits and keyboards and stuff like that, I would have thought you were crazy, because that's just the level I was at. But the crazy thing is, I quickly realized that I can do it. So once I realized that and imagined it, and just really started picturing myself with all this equipment, it slowly started happening, and it was happening at a rate where I couldn't tell anything was moving. But 7 months later, excuse me, it just hits me. Look at this room; it just completely transformed, and it took a good amount of while. But honestly, it wasn't like I had to break my back, or if I had to go out and work 14, 15, 24 hours a day, whatever. or have all these crazy side jobs to do this. And I did it all, just working my normal day job, and I don't even make that much money at my day job. So honestly, you have to stop looking at the fact that money, don't think of it as tying you down. Don't think of the place you're at as being bad or anything, because yeah, we could all be living better, but at the same time we could all be doing bad. We could all be living in a third world country where you wouldn't have the luxury of watching me talk to you and give you knowledge on this video. So be grateful at least that you have this technology that allows us to communicate with people. So that's a real important thing too, is to start being grateful for the things you do have, and you realize that the things that you don't have don't matter. It doesn't matter that you don't have that shiny car or whatever you want. You start being grateful for the things you already have, and it just makes life that much better, because you don't feel your life is incomplete since you don't have that thing you crave. But that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get you to that thing that you're trying to get to. I'm trying to get you to that level where you have your shiny car and your nice house, and you got something to show yourself. But it all begins in here first. You can't go out to the world and start demanding money, and not know why. So we have to really work on our mind first, because if we don't work on our mind, then we can't work on the world around us. So I want to lead you with this quote that I heard, I read. I believe the quote was by Abraham Lincoln, and it goes something like, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. And that's a really deep message, because this is the philosophy you need to take with your life too. If you want to have that badass life, when you're an adult, when you're in your adult life where you have cars and places all over the world and money in your bank all the time, well, you need to prepare yourself for that in the beginning of your life. You can't just be living your life right now wanting to go out and party every day and go out to drink and go out clubbing and go out socializing and go out spending your money every day, but you still want to achieve that dream life at the end of your life. You can't do that, because you're going to just cancel yourself out. In other words, you're just going to set yourself up for failure. So what you have to do now, this exact moment, is to start bettering your mind so you could provide the world you need to right now for yourself. And once you do that, once you get into really developing your mind, it's called self-development. Look up self-development on YouTube. You'll find millions of videos on this, but there's all kinds of subjects. There's mindset, there's binaural beats, there's motivational speakers, there's seminars, there's all types of places and sources that you can get this type of resources. So really take advantage of the internet, and now especially that we have YouTube and instant messaging, where you could really get into contact with some big people or listen to what they have to say. Whenever before in the world have we been able to communicate with millionaires and billionaires and learn from them like we do now? I mean, if you really think about it, back in the 1900s, for example, if someone was a millionaire and a person was living right next to him, I mean, he probably wouldn't even know that, because of the way that the world was communicating back then. It was just real simple. People would literally have to walk to each other's houses to say something to each other, or they would have to deliver a letter to communicate. But now, people don't have to leave their houses. They don't have to do really much anything to be able to send out a message. And you need to start taking advantage of that. You need to start figuring out what your goals are going to be. Start visualizing where you want to be, and write it down. Write this all down. Everything you have to be writing down, because your mind, no matter how good you think you are or how smart you are, your mind needs to be hit with this information repetitively. Go back and watch these videos, a couple of times, and watch everything and read everything, and listen to everything twice, 3-4 times, because the more you get in there, the more you read and all that, you'll find new information that you didn't see there before. You'll reach what's called a new level of awareness, and you always want to raise your level of awareness, because once you raise your level of awareness, you realize that something that's not directly related to your business or something that's here in front of you could affect you. And so really work on developing your mind, visualize where you want to be in exact detail. If you want to have that nice car, nice house, sit down, close your eyes, take deep, long breaths, and just imagine yourself where you would want to be. If you were to from wake up into a dream where you're living the absolute life you've always, imagined, write that down. Where would you wake up? What kind of bed would you be on? How big would the bed be? When you get off of the bed, what kind of flooring is it? Is it marble? Is it, concrete? Is it, high end, whatever, high end carpet, high end shag rugs, or, imagine everything into detail. Imagine the faucets on your bathroom. What color are they? Are they plated gold? Are they laced with diamond? Every little thing. The quicker and faster and the more in detail you can get with your visualizations, the easier it becomes to trick your brain into the thinking you're already living that life. You see, there was a there was a study done, I believe, on astronauts or NASA scientists, where they were hooked up to some machines. I forgot what they're called, but they were basically told to close their eyes, and they were told to imagine themselves, walking on the moon, or doing their work, doing what it is that they do at work. And they also ran that test while they were actually doing their work, physically, and they found that the same patterns and the same nerves in their brains fired up as if they were doing the work physically. So if you can trick your brain into thinking that you are that multi-platinum producer, if you are that, that gold-selling artist, if you are the greatest, and if you trick your brain into thinking that, then you start living in that world. But it's a difference between that and being conceited. Being conceited, in my opinion, means that there's no one that can get on your level, and that's another destructive habit. But we're not going to get into that. But you have to have, affirmation in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. So I think that's it. Covered quite a bit of topics. I hope you enjoyed the message. If you like something from it, subscribe, leave a comment, share this video. This is Juice at THCLabs.net. If you have any questions, just get at me. Peace.